Good morning. This is DIY Cooking with Connie. You know, Valentine is approaching very soon. So today we're going to do a recipe for my grand dog. So these are dog treats, easy to make. And it's nice to treat your pets on Valentine's Day. And this is mine. Molly's her name. And she's sweet as she can be. I have 2 grand dogs. And so we're making treats for both of them today. And I hope that you would join us. I'm going to let my daughter take over here. She's the dog treat person. And I'll just be learning how to do it. So if you excuse me a minute, I will let Claudia take over. She's washing her hands, so we got to wait a minute. She's on her way.
Okay, we're gonna just make, these are super easy treats, and our dog Molly, she has to be on a special bladder diet, so we have to be really careful with what she eats. Her dog food's special dog food, and which has actually been fantastic since she had bladder surgery. It's one of the Puree Pro. You have to get it by subscription, but it's in the black and pink bag. I can't remember, but it's for a special. And she's had no trouble for the last few years since we've been on that. But we have to be really careful about, you know, not giving her any preservatives and additives and things like that. So this is a really easy treat to make. Pumpkin is really cheap. And so anyway, let's get started with our recipe. It's only 4 ingredients. We're gonna use some flour, a pumpkin puree, not pumpkin pie filling. That has all the sugar and the spices. We're just gonna use the pumpkin puree. 100% pumpkin is what you want. And then we're going to put just a little bit of salt and some peanut butter. This happens to be chunky peanut butter, which is what we just happen to have. But you can use, normally I would use smooth at home. And any of these things you can use organic. If you'd rather use whole wheat flour or a coconut flour or something like that, you certainly could do that too. We're just going to use plain all-purpose flour. Mom, come on over here. And we're going to start off with a cup of pumpkin puree. Normally when I make this, because just the way that they make pumpkins, the cans of pumpkins, I usually go ahead and make a double batch, which we're going to do that today. And that way I don't have any leftover pumpkin. We're not big fans of pumpkin at our house, so. But the standard recipe would just be for 1 cup of pumpkin.
So today we're doubling, we're using 2 cups of pumpkin.
Yeah, because we'll use up the rest of the pumpkin, and then also these are really good because they don't have all the additives and preservatives in them. Whenever you, after you make these, like I will put them in her little treat container for, you know, a week or 2. But then after that, because they don't have preservatives, you know, they could get mildewy. So they're really good to just stick in the freezer, you know, take out however many you need for the week or, you know, month or.
It doesn't take them long to thaw, does it?
No, and really I think they could probably eat them right out of the freezer. It'd just be a little crunchier because they don't get super, super hard. So, okay, so we've got our pumpkin in there. And then we're going to use I probably need a littler spoon for that. Let me just rinse this pumpkin spoon off, so I don't stick that pumpkin down in the peanut butter.
Well, yeah, that might not be so good unless you like pumpkin peanut butter. And
then I'm gonna spray this, measuring cup just so the peanut butter comes out a little bit easier. But it's 1/2 cup of peanut butter. Of course, I'm doubling, so I'm gonna put a cup in there.
So normally it would be something like this.
Yeah, just a half a cup.
But you are doubling it today.
Yeah, and they don't make this. It doesn't make all that. To me, when I bake cookies or anything like that, I almost always want to do double or triple because if you're going to get everything out,
you might as well make a good batch.
And they freeze so well, you may as well just make everything you can. Have we got another? Well, we can just use this. We've got a 1/2 cup, so it's 1 3/4 cup flour. So
well, you need another cup measurement.
That's okay. I'll just do it like this. I just won't talk right now so I can remember what I'm doing. All right, there's a 1/2 cup. There's a cup. There's a 1.5 cups. And there's a 1 3/4 cups. Now
that's double.
No.
That's single.
That's single.
So you're gonna do it again.
But I'm gonna do it again just for our purposes.
Okay. So. Let's keep me straight here.
Yeah.
You've already put the other 1/3 in. So
the 4th.
Yeah.
I put the 4th in already. So we're good. So we've got
that was just 3, wasn't it?
Yeah. So that's 1.5 plus I put a 4th.
Oh,
so
okay.
we're at 1 3/4 now. So
well, see, it don't take me long to get screwed up.
Yeah, it's usually what I do when I'm doubling and stuff like that. A lot of times I'll put my flour and everything in an extra bowl because if I do get stopped, then I can just go back and count.
You've already got your measurements already done.
Yeah, because it's so easy to get
myself.
confused.
That keeps you straight.
Okay, so only a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and that was a little bit more, but okay, and that is all the ingredients it is. So we've got 1 cup of pumpkin puree, a 1/2 cup of peanut butter, 1 3/4 cup flour, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So this does take a little bit of time to mix it up, and you could certainly use a mixer.
I guess you'd use your hands for that.
You could use your hands, which I will here in just a little bit.
Not afraid of getting dirty.
Yeah, because it does, once you kind of get going here, it does take a little bit to get it mashed up. And we're going to turn it out and roll it anyway, so you're going to have to get your hands in there.
It's kind of like making biscuits. You got to get your hands in there.
Yeah. Okay.
We've got a beautiful day today here. It's supposed to be up in the upper 40s, sun shining. I'm so glad the snow's gone. I tell you, I couldn't even get my doors open. We had about 10 inches out here, and I had to get my rubber boots out to even get out and feed my birds. But they seem to be doing very well. I keep a lot of soot out for them, and bird feed, and nuts, and berries. I kind of treat them with everything I think they should need. And so I have a heated bird bath. So they always have water, and it made it really handy when I was out there. I just fill the bird bath up with snow, it just melts right away. And those little birds get out there and they just take a bath. You know, here I am, I'm freezing to death, and they're out there bathing in the water.
Well,
but they have to keep the feathers clean, get them to work.
Well, and God designed them.
He did, and he did an excellent job, just like on us. We don't always agree, but
okay, you can kind of see that this is sticking together some here, and you can kind of see that it is coming together. So sorry about the phone call. I'm going to keep mixing this here, and we're getting ready to roll it out here in just a minute. Okay, that's probably about all I'm going to mess with it there, because we are going to be touching it more. I don't want to get the dough too tough or anything. And then we've got a rolling pin. Now, you can, yeah, just a little. We don't want it to get too dry. So we put a little flour on there. And then all we're doing here is we're just going to pat it down some. We don't want to, it does not have to be perfect. We don't want to roll and roll and roll. But I like to do mine at about a 1/2 inch. You can do it down and cut them as low as a 1/4 inch. The only thing is you'll just need to adjust your cooking time, because 1/4 inch, they are going to cook pretty fast. And we put a little bit of flour here on top so our rolling pin won't stick. We got a little bit of flour and a rolling pin. If you don't have a rolling pin, you can use a can, a vegetable can, or you just pat it down with your hands. It does not make any difference. It does not have to be perfect.
Dog would never complain.
No, they'll be happy with, you know, whatever it is. But the reason I like mine at about a ½ inch is just simply because I feel like they get kind of a better chew. It's not a hard crispy, but you know what your dog likes, so you do, you know, what works for them. Now, I'm gonna use this little thing, then we've got a heart, and I already know where a ½ inch is on that. So I'm gonna put it up here, and that's just about a ½ inch right now. So what I'm gonna start doing is I'm just gonna start pushing down and then just pull right back up, pushing down, pulling up. And a couple of these will come out when you push down and pull up. So I will go ahead and take those out if that happens and they get stuck. And we're going to just continue to do this, and we will come right back when we get them all cut out. And
now you might ought to tell your husband these are not cookies for Valentine's Day, because he's liable to get in there and just help himself. And then if he does, don't tell him that they're dog treats.
Well, and they're pumpkin and peanut butter and
Not
flour.
gonna hurt him.
So some people would maybe prefer this to a sugary cookie. So it'd be perfectly fine if anyone got into them. All right, we're gonna be right back, guys.
You guys stay with us. Well, now we're back, and you can see we've got them cut out. We've got a few just the little circles, and we've got a few in the heart shape for your dog. These are all cut to a ½ inch. Now, if you want to make them smaller, like a ½ inch, you can do so.
Quarter inch.
At a quarter inch.
Yeah.
But these are a ½ inch.
Yeah.
And to cook these, we're going to put them in the oven at 350 for 40 minutes. Now, if you cut down on the size to a ¼ inch, your cooking time's probably going to be cut about in half. So you just need to keep an eye on them. You don't want to burn them.
And we put the parchment paper down just for easy cleaning. You don't have to put parchment paper or wax paper down. We just did that so it'd be easier for us to clean.
Parchment paper is a wonderful thing to use. It's good for cookies or anything like that you don't want to stick.
All right, let's get these in the oven, Mom.
All righty. We're going to put our first bunch in. There's one.
And then we'll show you the end product before too long. But for now, we had a few ideas for some coupons we thought we'd share with you guys for Valentine's Day. It's a lot just to buy anything nowadays, but if you send flowers or anything, I mean, it's 70 bucks to get, you know, very little. So Mom and I are very, very thrifty.
Yeah, we are very thrifty.
And so we came up with some coupons we thought we would share with you. You could do it real quick. You don't have to run to the store. You could just write them on a piece of paper. Free. Yeah, free. You could write them on a piece of paper, type them out, make them fancy. You could put them in a little jar. You can decide. They get to pick one a week, one every day, once a month, whatever you want to decide, and however you want to decorate them and hand them for a gift. But Mom, what do we got here to start with?
Okay, for the beginning, you know, you can always suggest to your loved one that, how about for Valentine's Day, I clean out the vehicle. I wash it, I clean it inside, I wipe everything down, vacuum it, and you just put that on a little piece of paper, and that's his or her gift for the day.
I need that one. I need someone to do that one for me, because that's a big job, cleaning out your vehicle. That would be a really, really nice gift to offer to anybody. Or, you know, it doesn't have to be just someone you have a relationship with. I mean, it could be a neighbor. It's anyone to show
that you want to treat nice and appreciate.
Yeah, yeah. There are a lot of people who are alone on Valentine's Day, maybe don't have someone to share anything with, and you know,
be a good neighbor.
Be a good neighbor, you know, a quick phone call, something like that, a text. A phone call's nice, but anything, you know.
And the next one I would love to have, and I'm sure my daughter would love to have, a foot massage, 15-minute foot massage. Oh my goodness, that's the best thing in the world. And that's another good one, free of charge.
Yeah, and when you do any kind of massages, you know, you can do 5 minutes, you can do 15 minutes. So you just adjust accordingly to
how long your arm's gonna last.
Yeah, how long. Mom and I both have osteoarthritis, and she has osteoporosis, so my hands don't last very long doing much of anything nowadays. So.
And it doesn't feel as good if you're doing your own.
Yeah, exactly. What about a favorite meal?
Yes.
You know, a favorite meal that we try to get together on our birthdays here at Mom's, my brother and I and my husband. And my brother always picks the same birthday meal.
Fried steak, mashed potatoes, and corn.
Yes.
That's his favorite.
And people don't cook near as often as they used to. And so if you want to try and cut back on the budget, not go out to eat, then, you know, cook a favorite meal for them.
Yeah, a favorite meal is something that you make. And, excuse me a minute.
Okay, let's see what else we got. We got a night at the movies. That could be at your house. You could pick a favorite movie for whoever you're trying to show appreciation to. You could maybe make their favorite snacks. I mean, this is going to cost a little money because you're going to make some snacks. You're going to do popcorn, chips and queso, whatever it is that you like, but just
make a homemade dip.
Yeah, or you could actually go out to the movies, and we've got a few homemade dips on
our YouTube.
Yeah, on our YouTube channel here. So
yeah, and you know, or make them a favorite dessert. You know, who doesn't like cookies and candy? You know, or favorite cake. You know, anything that's a good dessert that they like, that's theirs for that day.
And we're going to make a real simple fudge in this video here shortly. It's a couple ingredients, so it's very, very simple.
Takes no time.
It's probably stuff that you have
I'm sorry, I'm clicking my my bracelet there that tells me that I can't do something. So
so anyway, that would be something very, very good to do too. I'm sorry, we got off track here.
Well, you know, you could make your own card and maybe write a poem in it. That would be something nice you could do.
My brother writes a lot of poems. He's really
very good.
He's very good at writing poems, and he can write one for you in a split second. So usually if it's any type of an occasion where you would normally get a card and pay $5 or $6 for, like I always say for my birthday, please write me a poem. And in 30 seconds, he can have a nice poem written for you. So, and sometimes just a funny little poem. It doesn't have to be, you know, just some little fun little riddle. And that'd be something to do.
Just let them know you love them, you know.
It'll be something to do with your kids, too. They could make up something silly. So, okay, let's see.
And game night. We have a lot of game nights.
We play a lot of cards.
Yes, and then we play that cat game. What is that?
We started playing Exploding Kittens.
Oh, it's so stressful.
At Christmas time we got that, and so we played a lot of that. There's a lot of vengeance going on in that game. If you don't have it, it's $20 to get it, you know, at your local wherever you shop.
Our trivia games.
You can play trivia game. We don't do trivia here because my brother and my husband are very, very good at remembering a lot of stuff. Mom and I, not so much. So we don't do trivia, but we play a lot of rummy here.
Yes,
so.
and we have a great time. You know, my son-in-law said, you know, since we've been playing cards, I've learned more about this family than I have in the last 30 years. And I told him, I said, well, then you know what you got to look forward to. So
yeah, it's when you play a game has some strategy, you see the best and the worst in people. Yeah. Let's see what we got. How about if you went outside, you could go to one of the parks near you. You could take a hike. Most of the parks are all free. And you could hike if you're able to do that. You could go out, take your camera, get some really nice pictures. Just instead of just snap, 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 you know, just take a minute, see what's in your background, see where you want people to stand, and you know, maybe take a picnic lunch with you or a few snacks. Mom and I like to, Mom really can't do much hiking or can't do really much walking at all now, but we like to go and slowly go through any kind of park we can find.
We take a lot of nice drives.
Yeah,
beautiful scenery.
We do a lot of drives now and then get out and take pictures more than, you know, the walking that we used to do. But that's a great one to get out with your family.
Yeah, take a day of wine and cheese.
Yeah, if you like to fish, you know, fishing pole. I mean, you do have to have a fishing license in most places, but
unless you're old like me.
Or you can just get out and, you know, feed the fish at different places.
Just enjoy nature.
Yeah. What do we got here, Mom?
Oh, a good old back rub.
Yeah, let's show them how this is how me and Mom do our back rubs. every time I get ready to leave her house, this is what we do for our back rubs.
Feels so good.
And then how about daily chores? You know,
yeah.
I get up today, and if you normally do all the dishes, I'll do your dishes for today, or you know, whatever chore it is that maybe they don't care so much about. Those are the kind of things I like to have done for me.
Yeah, or if you normally fix breakfast for your husband, well, maybe on Valentine's Day, he could fix breakfast for you.
Yeah, or just, you know, maybe your kids could do something, or, you know, just someone, you know, special, or...
And include the whole family.
Yeah.
You know, that makes everybody feel like they're needed. And everyone needs to be, to feel like they're needed.
Well, like they're wanted.
Yes,
you know?
They're wanted and loved.
Yeah. How about being in charge of the remote for the day? At my house, my spouse he pretty much runs the remote all the time. He loves news and he loves sports. I stay on my iPad a lot, but just put yourself in charge of the remote for a day. Maybe someone, or, you know, say, hey, you can watch anything that, you know, we'll watch whatever you want to all day long, or for 2 hours, or whatever the case is, and not complain about whatever they're turning on necessarily.
And, you know, if you don't have anyone, like you're by yourself, like I am, treat yourself to a special day. You know, just because you're by yourself, it doesn't mean that you don't deserve a special day. And that right, baby? Yes, that's right.
That's something that most people don't do near enough. Is just take a day, you know,
for yourself.
Maybe give yourself, you know, some special lotion that you've been saving for something. You know, take a hot bath, hot shower,
as long as you want.
You know, do something special for yourself. Just take a little time. It's so important for us to unwind a bit and catch our breaths, have a cup of coffee or a tea or whatever your favorite beverage is, and just take a minute. So, Mom, let's see, because I'm sorry, we're looking at our notes here. So anyway, I think that what did we give them, about 11 or 12 or something like that.
And things that you can do that doesn't cost anybody anything. And
so we hope that you have a good Valentine's Day.
Yes, and before we kind of set off here, I want to say Happy Valentine's Day to the class of 1964. I tell you, it's friends that you make when you're in school that are friends for a lifetime. And I just want them to all know out there that I have them on my mind a lot. And it seems like the older I get, the more I appreciate the friends that I have. And I have good neighbors around me that I appreciate so much. They kind of watch out for me. And just close friends that we've been friends for years and years. So those people are so very important. And show them that you appreciate them. Reach out to them and wish them a happy Valentine's Day. Okay, I'm going to show you an easy fudge recipe. There's no temperature watching or anything else. And what it takes, I had my bag laying here, but somebody's got to wait.
Oh, I threw it in the trash. Sorry, Mom.
I'm using today a bag of white chips. And then I'm using a can of the milk chocolate icing.
What is that, 16 ounces?
This is 16 ounces. And I melted my white chips in the microwave. It says on the back of your packages how to melt your chips. We are going to make 3 different kinds today. I'm going to demonstrate one, and then we'll do the others off camera. So I'm making chocolate with white chips, which kind of comes out like a marshmallow fudge. And then we're going to do the white icing with the peanut butter chips, which is peanut butter fudge. And the last one we're going to do, I'm using a buttercream, or you can use a cream cheese with cherry chips. You can mix and match any way you want to. It comes out good anytime.
Is that a small bag of chips, or?
That's anywhere from around a 12-ounce package. You can even use if it's comes a little smaller. I think this is like 10 to 12 ounces, fine. So let's get started. And what I'm going to do, first thing, I'm going to take my chocolate icing, put it in a bowl here. I'm going to get all that good, rich icing out. I like it better this way than I do on cake. Get all the goods out. Okay.
And the thing I like about this fudge so much, you would think, oh, this is going to just not be very good at all. It really makes, the peanut butter is probably my favorite. It makes such a good fudge taste.
Oh, it is such an easy recipe, and it tastes so good and so rich. Great for giving, like on Valentine's Day, or a neighbor, or whoever, maybe somebody at work. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to beat these together till you kind of lose that shine. And it takes a few minutes to do this. And
yeah, this would be good also for like a bake sale, really quick. You wouldn't have
really quick. It just doesn't take nothing.
And then you could also, you're not going to put yours in a pan. They'll see here in a minute, but you could easily pour it in a disposable pan, take it to a bake sale that way, or deliver it to a neighbor in a disposable pan. I'll
show you how I do mine. Of course, like I said, I'm not getting ready to take anything anywhere. But, you know, if you're going to take it somewhere in your pan, what I would suggest is take your wax paper or parchment paper, put it down into your pan, let it lean over the side a little bit, and put your fudge in there and let it set. And you can always fold your sides of your paper in on it. And when you get ready to take it out, all you have to do is lift out your paper and your fudge is going to come out. So,
now, Mom, do you think the wives' tale, never make fudge or candy when it's raining outside, is true?
Well, you know, that goes along with baking bread or cakes or anything. They're more likely to fall when there's moisture outside, raining. So rainy days are not a good day for baking. You need to put that off to another day. I have seen it come true so often that it just, too much humidity in the air. Okay, we're just about to the point. I kind of let you see there how it's looking. And so what I do, I take just plain old wax paper, and I'm going to tear that off. And I'm dumping my fudge out of the bowl. And of course, it's still warm from the chips.
Because you microwaved your chips.
I microwaved my chips.
You could double boil them.
Yeah, you could use a double boiler and melt them that way if you prefer.
And then just microwave, just look at the instructions. Every chip's a little different.
Yeah, it tells you on the back of the package. Okay. Set that aside. And of course, I'm going to use my good old fingers. Get all the good out of there. Now, let me wash that off. Okay, now, next thing I'm going to do is get me another sheet of wax paper. And I'm putting that right over the top, and I'm going to mold my fudge how I want it. So, I'm going to take that, kind of like have it kind of oblong, and I look and see what width I want. Okay, just about there. And all I'm gonna do is leave this on my counter and let it set up.
Let's pull it back a little bit and kind of see about the size. It's probably maybe like 9 by 9, a little bit bigger than an 8 by 8 pan.
And you just let this set, and you know, you can lay it on a pan and do it, and you can move the pan out of your way and set it aside. But I just leave it on my counter and I let it firm up. And once it cools down, it firms up pretty quickly. And you're not gonna have a hard fudge. This is more like I said, marshmallow fudge, which it is still kind of soft, but it holds its shape. So I want you to give this a try. It is so simple and easy and quick if you have to take something somewhere. But it's a good thing to do on Valentine's Day. So like I said, I'm setting that aside. And then we're gonna continue working on the other two, and we will be back with the end results.
Okay guys, we're back. We are making all kinds of things for you today to try to give you some ideas for Valentine's Day. Mom is she's taking a little bit of break. I want to show you a couple little things. Okay, so all I'm doing with these is I've got some of these Choco Maker. You could use almond bark. You could use any type of little chocolate wafer or vanilla. This is red, but it's actually a vanilla flavor. So I have melted these down per the back of the instructions. And then of course, whatever your microwave says. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some of these, I've got this mold here. It's got 2 different types of hearts, and then it's got a little flowerette there. And what I'm gonna try and do, I don't ever feel like the vanilla chocolate melts near as good as the chocolate, the dark chocolate does. You probably put a little bit of coconut oil to help that, but I'm just gonna put a little bit in each of these. And then what we'll do is we'll come back along and we'll top it with some of the dark chocolate. And then we'll kind of have 2 flavors. It'll look pretty if nothing else, hopefully. So we'll see how this turns out. So I'm just gonna put a little bit in each of these molds. Now, if you were doing this, well, if you're doing this on a regular basis, you probably have all the little squirt bottles. You can put the chocolate in and, you know, squirt it in there, and then just fill these so you don't make any kind of mess and you don't have as much waste. But I don't have that stuff, and so I'm just going to put some in with a teaspoon at a time. And then, you know, if you wanted to do all of these in whatever color you wanted, you just do it how you want to do it. I just had this mold, and I think these look so pretty whenever they come out. And I thought, well, we're gonna be melting some of this chocolate. We'll just go ahead and try some of these molds. So that's what I'm doing. And I had a lot of chocolate. I had a lot of stuff left over from Christmas. We ended up playing a lot of cards and cooking food, and I did not make near the desserts that I normally make. And so I had a lot of candy left over, and I needed to get it, out of my pantry and use it for something else. So that's what we're doing here. Okay, I've just about got these filled. I'm just filling these just enough to kind of cover the bottoms, and then this is a silicone, so it's flexible, but I'm just gonna tap it a little bit, and then this will make it, this will smooth it down in there in the bottom. And then I'm gonna get a little bit off this side. This really doesn't make any difference, but it's a little easier to clean up the bottoms of the mold. So I'm gonna set this aside for now. Let me get this off my hands. Okay, I'll set this aside. What I usually do whenever I'm making candy, any kind of melted chocolate or anything like this, whatever I have left, even if it's just a little few tablespoons, I just start adding stuff to it. And so we've got some crispy rice cereal, and then we've got some nuts is what Mom's got down here. So on this, I'm gonna put some crispy rice cereal in it. And then I'm gonna put a few nuts, not too many, because I'm gonna save some of these for the chocolate. And I'm gonna give it a stir. And that way you don't waste any of that. And then we're just gonna drop these by teaspoons on the parchment paper or wax paper, whatever you're using. And they'll set up and they'll be pretty little candies. Now, you can see here maybe, I'm gonna have to add more. That's too thin. That's not gonna wanna set up too good. So I'm gonna add a little bit more crisp rice. Basically, you don't want any of that candy that melted. You don't want any of it sitting on the bottom. You need enough of the, whatever you're using for Rice Krispie Treats and nuts, you need enough of it so you pretty much got all that candy off the bottom. So I hope I'm not confusing you too much. And you can use, when I use just regular white chocolate, that's white. I've used Fruit Loops, I've used dried fruit, I've used the chow mein noodles. I mean, you use whatever it is that you want to use, whatever you happen to have around the house. And it lets you use up all those little bags of this and that and the other thing that you have. And then it makes something, it looks like you took some time to really make an effort to make something, and you really haven't. Okay, I've just about got this all covered, this Rice Krispie and the nut mixture. You just want to make sure you don't have any color left on your Rice Krispies. So see how much I've got in there to dip out? So I'm going to just start putting these just by the teaspoon. And I just usually hold my teaspoon straight up for it to fall right off of there. It does not have to be perfect, and when it starts sitting up, these will all stick together, and they'll be, Mom, what you doing in there?
Nothing.
It sounds like you're wadding a bunch of paper up or something. Okay, we're back. We're getting ready to wrap these candy making Valentine's Day stuff up. So what I've done is I had some more of the, this is a Wilton brand candy melts. I do not care for these. I don't like the way they melt down. I much would prefer to use the almond bark. I had bought these on clearance, and I'm not a big fan of them. Now, they might be a little bit old or something. That might be the problem. Maybe they melt wonderful, but I had intended on drizzling some of the chocolate over the red that we had made earlier, but it just does not want to drizzle at all. So anyway, I've got that melted the best that it will melt, and I'm going to go ahead and top off these molds if I can, and get that done. And then we're going to add some of the chocolate to this as well, and, or excuse me, not the chocolate, the Rice Krispie Treats along with the nuts, kind of make like a peanut cluster. And then let me see what else we've got to do. We've got to get Mom's got one other thing she's going to show you, and then we're going to get the fudge all cut up, and I think show you everything, and that's going to be about it. See, you should be able to just pour this right out. I should not be having to use my finger to fill these. I should be able to pour it right out. They just, you know, like I said, maybe they were just a little bit old. I mean, that's a really good brand, so you would think that they would have good melts. You guys can make a comment and let me know if you have really good experience with the candy melts, the Wilton brand. Might just be me today. Okay. Now we're getting ready to do, the next video Mom will have out is a thrifting video. We love to go thrift shopping, and so she'll do a thrifting video, and we'll have that out next week sometime. We've actually gone to a few thrift stores, and every place we've gone recently has been closed on the day that we've gone. So some were closed on Wednesday, some were closed. We tried to go this week on Tuesday. It was closed on Tuesday. And so we haven't had very much luck finishing that up. But anyway, we'll get that out for you next. And then as our our weather starts to break a little better here, then I'm sure we're going to have more thrifting videos coming for you. Maybe a few DIYs. It's just, I kind of do the DIYs, and so it's kind of hard to film at my house and get everything set up, and so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the DIYs go, I guess. What I would like to have done is I'd like to have not any mess on this at all. That's what I would have really liked. But with the way this pours, that is just not going to be the case. I didn't want to have to break off any of that excess. But anyway, you go with what you got to go with at the time, I guess, and move on from there. Okay, I think I'm going to call this as good as it's going to get. Okay, I'm going to set this off to the side and let that do its thing. Okay, we've got all this chocolate left, so we are going to go back and add our peanuts in. And this will take the whole jar. Mom buys a lot of these peanuts for her birds. She makes sure they have a lot of peanuts. So I'm going to mix these in, and then I'll do a few with just peanuts and make a peanut cluster, and then I'll add some of the Rice Krispie treats in too, probably. See how much this, how thick this gets. So start dropping these, and then when we come back, we will get all of these things. Well, no, Mom's got one more thing to do. Mom, you want to come in here and, well, I guess we'll turn off the camera, and we'll have to come back because it's going to take me a while to drop all these.
So you want to turn off the camera then?
I think, yeah, so these you're just going to take teaspoonfuls, just like we did with the red ones that we did, and you're just going to drop them off your teaspoon, and there you've got your peanut clusters, and that way you're not wasting anything in the bowl at all.
Did you also tell them that you have a couple of booths there at Bear Ridge, that they have a lot of antique and odds and ends there?
No, I told them we were going to be doing a thrifting video next, so we can talk about that in our thrifting video and use some of that footage we've got for that. But if you want to go over and turn off the camera, that would be good.
Okay, I'm gonna make a real simple, easy dessert. Back when I was young, first married, we didn't have much money, and once in a while we would get cherry mash. Back when I was young, the cherry mash were about the size of a round apple, and stood up about yay big. Well, anymore they don't come like that. They're very small. This is the size they are. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put these in the microwave, and I'm going to melt them.
Okay, Mom, break one of those open, and for someone that might not know what a cherry mash has inside of it.
Cherry mash is full of cherry. It's like a cherry nugget.
Okay.
And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put that in the microwave. And I'm going to put that on. This going to start with 15 seconds at a time. Until I get it melted. And while we're waiting on that to melt, you know, when you're watching this DIY, I'd like for you to, you know, put us a thumbs up and give us a comment, and let us know if you've tried the recipe and if you liked it. And when you try some of these candy recipes, if you change it, add something different to it, let us know how it turned out. And on our dog treats, let's see if your dog likes them. Take a picture and send it to me. Said I'd love to see your dogs. And you know, you can always subscribe to our channel. That doesn't cost anything. It just lets us know that you're interested in watching. And then if you want to know when the next video is, there's a small bell down there. You can just hit it and it will notify you that we have another video on hand. So if you excuse me a minute, I'll check the cherry mash. They are starting, but they're not done yet. So we're gonna do it again a little bit. It's just like melting chocolate. It takes a little while. But while we're doing this, I am gonna get what this goes on ready. So if you will just bear with me.
Just go over and get whatever you need, Mom.
So what I've got here is some vanilla ice cream. Check this. Oh, it's doing so good. Okay. And this is what we used to do. It was such a treat to have. I guess better open it first. Have this because we couldn't afford very much. And back then the cherry mash were a nickel a piece. There has been time that it cost a quarter to do a laundromat that I didn't have a quarter to do that. Okay. A little bit longer, then we'll be ready to go. Burnt my finger. Wow. Don't take long to get hot. Don't take long for you to find out it's hot either. But, all right, I've got this melted to a consistency that it'll run. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pour this right over my ice cream. It's just like kind of like a hot fudge sundae. And it is very, very rich and very good. So I'm gonna give it a try. I'll let you look at it, how it looks. Does it remind you of an old hot fudge sundae? So we're gonna take it, and of course it hardens right up on that cold ice cream. I don't want no more than my mouth can hold. Here goes. That's good. Give it a try. Okay, we're back and we've got all of our candy made. As you can see, we have made a lot. We've still got a lot more that we're gonna pack up. And this right here is our little molds that we made. And then we have our Rice Krispie treats. Then we also have our chocolate with the nuts. Oh, excuse me. And then we also have our chocolate fudge and our peanut butter fudge. Now, we didn't make the cherry fudge. We decided not to, and we used caramel. But we found that the caramel doesn't harden up, so we end up making caramel balls. They're very good. They're soft like caramels.
Okay, so you use the caramel in with the buttercream frosting.
Yes, we used the buttercream frosting with that.
You just decided not to use the cherry chips.
Instead of the cherry chips. And then we got our dog treats done.
And that's how much
and
a double batch.
And this is a double batch right here. And we made some hearts, and we made some just round. And what we're going to do with all of the candy that we made, which we've got more sitting back here, we're going to box it all up, and we're going to drop it off to different business places here in town and let them enjoy it for Valentine's Day. And I hope that you'll give us a try and comment on these, how quick it was for you to do. And I hope that the person that you love appreciates what you've done for them today. And so I want everyone out there watching, have a happy Valentine's Day and come visit with us again.